return with another video. Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you guys how to create a player in Unity that is able to move around with the arrow keys. So what you want to do is, in the project window down here, go to create, and you're going to press C# script, and now you can name it whatever you want. Name it move. Alright, and then you would just want to click in here in the inspector, click open, and we'll open up the script and edit it. Now, I already wrote a script just to save time, and this is it here. And I'm just going to run quickly through it and explain what this is. But if you write exactly this, then your game should be able to work fine. So these lines here just establish your script as what it is. So this is just the name of your script. Now we have these brackets here and here, which is everything inside our script. Now these two lines here, a public float is like a variable. A float is a number with decimal points, and a public float is a variable that it's public, so it'll affect the player and the player sees it. And this black text here and here is, we named the float. You can name it whatever you want, but here we assign the value, which is the speed, and you put in a capital F at the end because it's a float, and then every line in a C# script has to end with this semicolon. And it's important if you see things in this code that it's case sensitive, so you do use capitalized letters. Now here, the void update, inside these parentheses here is the void update, which means that the game updates every frame to match with the input that you put on your keyboard. So the variables in here will change every frame. So we have another float here, which we are naming translation. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, the input.getAccess is just saying for the game to sense the input, and the access here we have established is vertical, which is Unity establishes that as the up and down arrow keys. So this is saying that when the up and down arrow keys are pressed, you're going to multiply that by the translation speed, which is that variable that we assigned up here. So when we use the up and down arrow keys, the character moves on the vertical axis at the speed of the translation speed, which is 20. Similarly, we have this input.getAccess for the horizontal, and it's going to multiply by the rotation speed, which is 40. Now one thing to notice, here we have translation, which means the character doesn't rotate, but it moves in position, and then the float rotation doesn't move on any axis, it rotates on that axis. And for both translation and rotation, we must write this. Multiply that equals time.delta time. And again, we end every line with a semicolon. And the time.delta time piece down here just makes sure that no matter what computer you have, your game will work at an efficient pace. So if you have a slower computer or a faster computer, either way your game will be able to function properly. Now here, so this establishes in which direction, these two lines, which direction or which axis your character moves or rotates on. So the first variable is always X, second variable is Y, and the third is Z. So this is saying here that the character will move on the Z axis, which is forward, and here we say that the character rotates on the Y axis here. And these are all inside the void update brackets. So I know that's a lot to handle, but these are the variables that we assign, which are the speeds. This here says, okay, if we use the up and down arrow keys, which is the vertical axis, the character will move on the Z axis here at this speed. And then similarly, if we use the horizontal keys, which is the left and right arrow keys, the character will rotate on the y-axis at rotation speed. Alright, so that's a lot to take in all at once, but if you write this exactly, you'll be alright, and I'll put a link in the description to a website I created that'll have this text on it. And we didn't make any edits here, but you always just want to save your work. Now that we're in here, you're gonna go to edit and go to preferences, or no, not preferences, sorry. Go to edit, project settings, and input, and then here we have all the axes. So as you see here, this horizontal axis, it already has the left and right arrow keys set, and it also has the A and D arrow keys set. All the variables here are set. So, and the same with the vertical, you got the down, up, and that's W. So all you need to do is write the text exactly like this in the C# script in Unity, and because Unity already provides the horizontal and vertical inputs. So when you have this text and you apply it to the player, you can use the arrow keys to move your character and the WSAD buttons. Now, you want to take your script and just drag it over to your character in the hierarchy. Now, if you click your character, you see it as a property. Another thing you want to do is go to Component as you select the player, Physics, and Rigid Body. Now, this just makes sure that it has a gravity component and that it's solid so that it falls to the ground. And now, as you see here, we're able to use the buttons that we assigned, or that Unity assigned for us automatically. You can change these, of course, if you do what I showed. And now we can move around the character. We can rotate him on the y-axis and move him on the z. Alright, that's it for this tutorial. If you like this video, make sure to share it with your comrades and colleagues. And thank you for watching!